Hello, my name is Rachael Pineiro. I'm the program coordinator for the Salesian Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry. As you can see, I'm drinking many cups of coffee. Why? Because I want to stay awake. Yesterday was the first day of Advent, and that means something great is going to happen, and I personally cannot wait. Yesterday's gospel, Mark 13:33-37. Jesus says to his disciples, "So stay awake, because you do not know when the master of the house is coming. Evening, midnight, cockcrow, or dawn. If he comes unexpectedly, he must not find you asleep. And what I say to you, I say to all, stay awake." Now, there was a time when I could not stay awake to greet a guest who I was eagerly awaiting. Circa 1996, my family was celebrating Christmas in Florida with my grandparents. Me, being a very refined 7-year-old at the time, decided to get my brother and sister together to plot to catch Santa Claus. We came up with a very sophisticated plan. My sister and I, on Christmas Eve, on the night of Christmas Eve, would pretend to be asleep. My older brother would sneak out of the back door and he would go to our window and he would give us the signal to sneak out of our rooms and go to our designated hiding places. Unfortunately, my sister and I were so good at pretending that we actually did fall asleep. And my poor brother was outside of our window hooting like an owl for 20 minutes until he finally gave up himself and went to bed. So the problem was we could not stay awake, we could not keep watch, and we never caught Santa Claus. Now the readings during Advent have a lot to do with keeping watch, with getting yourself ready for a special guest, expecting, hoping, praying, and waiting. Who is that special guest? Well, it's not Santa Claus, it's Jesus Christ. Advent is a time when we prepare our hearts for Jesus to come, and we do that by remembering the Christmas story, but we also do that in a literal sense to meet Jesus face to face at the end of our lives or at the second coming. I once waited outside of a Broadway theater for 45 minutes in the snow so I could meet Ian McKellen face to face at the end of a play. If you don't know who Ian McKellen is,
You shall not pass!
played the wizard Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings series, and he sacrificed himself into the fiery crags and the mines of Moria while fighting the Balrog. And then in the Two Towers, he resurrected, more powerful than ever. Okay, so when I met Ian McKellen, I had this realization, oh, he's not really a wizard. He's obviously an actor, and he didn't do those things. Ian McKellen is really just a normal person. But there is a person who really did sacrifice himself while battling the forces of evil, and he really did resurrect, not in the second movie, but on the third day. And that person is Jesus Christ. So, what does all of this have to do with our daily lives? Well, there's a lot of waiting in our daily life. Waiting for buses, waiting for college acceptance letters, etc. While you're waiting, you can do so with the expectation that you will meet Jesus somehow. He is always present and he can make himself known to you no matter what. So if you're waiting and you're anxious, you can ask Jesus to send you his peace. Or if you're bored while you're waiting in line for something, you can silently talk to Jesus and tell him about your hopes and dreams. And then you can live in the joyful anticipation of seeing how Jesus will speak back to you. So it might be in the smile of a passerby, or it might be in the kind gesture of a friend. But you can meet Jesus at all times, and knowing that is living the Advent perspective. So here I am, I'm drinking lots of coffee. Not because I literally want to stay awake, but because I want to remind myself not to miss out on the incredible blessings that God has given me in my life. But mainly because I love coffee. So, as you light the candles during the next 4 weeks on your Advent wreath, remember that you are practicing living your life with patience and with joy. St. John Bosco, pray for us. Good night.